Cockroaches. That is my biggest fear, okay? It is a phobia that I've had for the entirety of my life, for as long as I can remember. And I'm bringing out the notepad today because I have some notes, some things I want to remember while I'm talking about this. And frankly, even talking about it gives me the heebie-jeebies. But anyway, the name of the phobia is called phobia. It's the fear of cockroaches. And I think this fear probably stemmed from when I was a child. For some reason, I vaguely remember some, let's say, traumatic events where my mom also encountered a cockroach. She is also deathly terrified, or maybe deadly terrified of cockroaches. She got very scared. And I think as a child, when you observe your parents becoming scared of something or reacting to something in a negative way, you are going to learn to react to it in the same way. You perceive it as a threat, you perceive it as a danger. It's really just going to be a bad time all around. So I think probably something like that happened as a kid. And honestly, no one in my family, including my dad, my brother, none of us enjoy cockroaches. I mean, I don't think there is anyone that enjoys cockroaches, but I'll tell you one thing, there are definitely people that can tolerate them a lot better than I can. A long time ago, I worked in sort of a startup company, and I remember, and this is the thing, right? The people that are scared of cockroaches are the ones that always find the cockroaches first. Or maybe the cockroaches find them first, they sense the fear, they come to us. I don't know what it is, but I'm always the first one finding a cockroach. So I go to my lunch break during this job, I come back, I sit at my desk, and there is a massive cockroach just sitting right there in front of me, and I freak out. Now, I don't have the typical, let's say, fear reaction where I scream and go crazy. I'm just like, I just look at it and I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy. Like, and I sort of back away slowly and just leave. There was a person that I work with who you can tell was not scared of cockroaches at all because he was actively pursuing it. This is the thing that just is insane to me. The people that are not scared of cockroaches will actively pursue them to kill them. I mean, I tend to leave the area where they are. Some people actively pursue them, and this guy took it even a step further and used his bare hands to catch this thing. And I was just absolutely terrified. Not a good time, okay? I have several encounters with cockroaches that I can remember. That was definitely one of them. And it's just something that I hope never happens again, but I know it will. And it's one of those things where after it happens, you're just sort of counting down the days until the next time it happens, okay? There is a famous YouTuber that some of you may know. His name is Charlie. His YouTube handle, I think, is PenguinZ0. He has compilations. I believe he lives in Tampa, so for you Florida people out there, you might relate to this, including myself. I am a native Floridian. The palmetto bug, the worst of the cockroaches, okay? He has compilations of him also freaking out with cockroaches, and I think he mentioned it was only recently that he sort of got over his fear, but in some of those, you see him screaming, leaving, eventually coming back and handling it, but he also flips out just like I would, and it's just not a fun moment to be in. Two other stories that I can remember. I remember one day waking up in my home, the current home that I live in, and from the corner of my eye, I saw a black dot on the wall. And the black dot was a cockroach. It was really high up on the wall, so the only way I was going to get it was if it fell on its own, or I had to step on a stepping stool to get it, which of course I'm not going to. I'm not going to pursue the thing that I'm deadly terrified of, okay? This is not like, oh, I'm gonna get after it today. I have, I gotta do another set on the bench press, or, something's really hard today at work or school. I gotta really get after it. This is a terrifying phobia that I have, so I'm not gonna get after it. So you know what I did? This is crazy. I called an extermination company, and I think this was like on a Saturday or Sunday, so I got very lucky that one was even open. I called an extermination company, and I literally called them, and I told them, I have a cockroach in my room, and I need help taking care of it. So this one kid comes, and when I say kid, I mean kid. This guy was like 18 years old in high school, driving the pest control, bus, the type of bus that has like a big cockroach on top, right? It reminds me of like Men in Black, the exterminators. I think there's like a roach on top of it. The one guy that like drinks the sugar and he wants more and more. Anyway, that's like a reference to Men in Black. If you know, you know. This guy comes in and he's like, oh, where's the cockroach? He goes to it and he does the same thing. He literally stands underneath the cockroach. He jumps up and grabs it and throws it away. And I'm just thinking like, this is crazy. And I'm like, how much do I owe you? He's like, oh, nothing, man. Like, it's just a cockroach. And I gave him $20. It was probably the easiest $20 he's ever made in his entire life. And I wonder if he thinks about that nowadays. I wonder if he'll tell that story. Like, I went to this guy's house once just to go grab a cockroach and leave. I wasn't even there for 5 minutes. I got $20. And who knows what you use that $20 on, but maybe watched a movie, got a meal. It's the easiest $20 he ever made. Okay? It's crazy. Okay? Here's another story. I was at home all day, hadn't seen a cockroach all freaking day. Okay? My wife went to go to church, and I figured, wife's not home, it's just me and the dogs. I'm gonna start blasting some music. I think probably a lot of people experience this when they're the only ones at home. If they want to blast music or they want to watch TV or play video games on like the max volume, they go ahead and do it. So I started doing that, and as soon as I started blasting that music, maybe I rattled something up in the house. A cockroach came from on top of my cabinets. I have like some space. The cabinets don't go all the way to the ceiling, so behind on that little space, I see a black dot from the corner of my eye. And guess what? It was the biggest cockroach I had ever seen in my life. Like, it's humongous, man. Crazy. So what do? I called my next door neighbor. I said, John, if you got lizards, I'll take care of them. If you got spiders, I'll take care of them. But I don't have any of those right now, and I have a big ass roach in my kitchen, and I need some help taking care of it. So, being the great neighbor that John was, he came over and took care of the cockroach for me. And then we ended up having a great conversation just about life, and it was awesome. By the way, John and Jackie, if you're watching this, you guys are great neighbors. I could not have asked for any better neighbors, especially just through everything. I mean, you guys are great neighbors. So, cockroaches are one of those things. Like, I sat there, and by the way, he wasn't immediately ready. I had to wait for like him to come home. I messaged him. He's like, "Oh, I'm on my way home." So I sat there, just like on the kitchen counter, just looking at the roach like this, and knowing that I was just gonna be pretty much disabled for the rest of the night. The rest of the night, I wasn't gonna be able to do anything. Completely ruined my night. And it's like, that's what a phobia does to you. A phobia, so deeply rooted in my childhood experience, is so strong. It's so strong that it stops me from, it literally affects my life. It's really, really bad. And then, I don't know, I have other memories that I can remember, like, again, how the cockroach always finds you. As a kid, I remember going to brush my teeth one day and grabbing the toothpaste tube. And when I grabbed it, it felt kind of weird. And you know why? Because there was a cockroach on the toothpaste tube. It's like, you ever notice the opposite thing? Like, let's say you talk about a car, or let's say you talk about anything, and all of a sudden you start seeing that thing a lot more often. It's like, even if I don't talk about cockroaches, there's something happening in my brain that's like always on the lookout for them. So that's why I always encounter them. It's crazy. I looked at my notes again to make sure I covered everything, and I did, but phobias are something that you just can't explain. I know there's sort of like therapy for this type of thing, and maybe I should do the thing for cockroaches because it's literally life altering. It changes the way that I live. There was a video once that I saw of a lady that had to do a similar thing, and I think it was like a multi-week process, and I think it started off with her just like looking at pictures of cockroaches, which she could barely do, and honestly, I can barely do. I think eventually she was able to be in a room with a cockroach, a live cockroach, okay? And that's the thing, by the way. It might be easy to be in a room with a cockroach that doesn't fly. Maybe, I don't know if this is just in Florida, but in Florida we get ones that fly. And here's another thing that happened. Every single night, there's two things I do every single night. I always take my dogs out every single night. And on top of that, if the trash is full, I go and take the trash out. This was one of those nights that the trash was full. So not only was I going to go and not walk my dog, but go outside with my dogs to the backyard, I was also going to take the trash out. So I open the sliding door, dogs go out, take the trash, start walking out, and I hear like a I don't know, it just like a landing. It sounds like a landing. I look to my right, and on the TV, I have a TV outside hanging on my wall. I see the biggest, baddest cockroach you've ever seen, and I see its wings flipping. The wings are flipping right there, and I just looked at it and I was like, nope. Not today, man. Walked right back in, and you know what? I mean, I told the dogs, I said, get in here as quick as possible. I saw the roach fly away. It took me like 2 weeks before I was able to go back outside. All right? 2 weeks before I was able to go back outside. Is there anything else? I mean, only a phobia can produce that type of fear, right? That fear response, which is insane to think about. That you can be so scared of something that it literally alters the way that you live. It affects your quality of life, and that's what cockroaches are for me. And I hate finding them. I'm always the ones that find them. Luckily for me, my wife doesn't really mind them that much. You know, she grew up in New York, and she tells me in New York there's also like a lot of cockroaches. So I think, you know, for her it's like she's just sort of used to it. And I think that's pretty cool. Because man, let me tell you, if it wasn't for her, it'd be tough. You know? But that's what I do. I always tell her, you know what? I take care of the lizards, I take care of the spiders, you take care of the roaches. All right? Although she has one thing that she's like, if it's a flying roach, I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's like, yeah. So, for today's action item of the video, I want to know about what your phobias are. My dad has a phobia of flying. He has a phobia, the fear of heights. I want to know what your phobias are. I want to know what is there anything so strong like me and roaches that changes the way that you live, that alters your daily life, your quality of life? Let me know in the comments below. You can see I'm already kind of getting paranoid. I'm literally looking around my car, making sure that there's not a cockroach just about to pop up out of nowhere. Although that would be a hell of a way to end the video. It would suck for me because then I don't even know how to get home. Unless I somehow manage to get that roach out of the car, I'm gonna have to walk home today and just leave the car here forever. That's just how it works with me. So anyway, today's Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday. Get tacos or something. Taco Tuesday. I've never actually done a Taco Tuesday. Maybe once, like 8 years ago. And yeah, as always, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Later.